Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Meredith E. Phillips, and if you've been around for a minute, you might recognize what this green checkered shirt means. That's right, it's an AuthorTube Anniversary. I've worn this shirt for my very first video, and I wore it last year when I was filming my 1-year anniversary video, and now here we are in May of 2022. It is my 2-year AuthorTube Anniversary, which is kind of nuts, but here we are. And now I cannot throw away this shirt until I have quit YouTube for some reason, because I have to wear it in every anniversary video from here on out. If you're interested in watching the video from last year, I'll link it below. Honestly, kind of forget what I said in it. I probably talked about AuthorTube a little bit. But for today's video, I wanted to do a tag that I found. It is the AuthorTube Anniversary tag. It was originally created by, it's short for lizard. They haven't posted in a minute, but I'll link their channel below and the original tag video. I actually found this tag though on Emma Rosen Books channel, or Rosen, I'm not sure how she pronounces it, but I'll link that one below as well, just in case you want another person to follow here on AuthorTube. So these questions are all focused on, what has the last year on AuthorTube looked like for you. I also had a little community post a few days back asking if you guys had any questions about AuthorTube, behind the scenes questions, and I had a couple questions there, so I'll get into those as well. So the first question in the tag is, in your last year on YouTube, what went well? Looking back from May 2021 through to this year, I think one of the things that I've done well is being consistent, although I will admit the last couple months not as great, but last year especially I think I did really well with consistency. I try really hard to stick to that Tuesday, Friday video upload schedule. I like when people I follow are consistent, and I think that other people will at least appreciate consistency, even if it's not maybe the most important thing to you. I try really hard to be consistent, so that's why when I miss videos, I feel like I've failed, even though it's fine, but I do try really hard to be consistent. I'm also pleased with how my vlogs have improved over the last year. If you've watched like all of my vlogs or a lot of my vlogs for over the past year, you might not notice like a huge change because you've been watching them like from week to week. But I think if you went back to early last year, the vlogs I was doing, I'm not suggesting you go watch them because they're probably a little cringy, but if you did, I think you would see a big difference both in terms of how I talk to the camera, but also how I edit them together. So I do think that's improved. Question number 2 is, in your last year on YouTube, what did not go so well? Definitely there have been times where I've prioritized video creation over mental health, which is not great. That's one of the reasons that my word of the year for this year was balance. I want to definitely work hard, but I also need to recognize when it's time to step back and take a break. So that hasn't always been good on my channel, or for me personally. Also, I will say my expectations in terms of growth for my channel were severely thrown off track by the previous year's NaNoWriMo. My channel started in May 2020, and in November of 2020 and in October of 2020, I was starting to post a bunch of Preptober and NaNoWriMo videos, right? Because it was that time of year. And I had a huge surge in growth in those 2 months. And I thought like, oh my gosh, like I've done it. I have hit that point where my channel is just gonna grow rapidly and steadily. And it's awesome. Like I was really excited about it. Well, I got into like spring, summer of 2021 last year, and the growth had just like flatlined. And I think that NaNoWriMo experience set me up to think, oh, this is gonna be how it is from here on forward, and it's not. So if you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel for AuthorTube and you start posting NaNoWriMo related videos during NaNoWriMo, you're gonna probably see a big growth spurt for your channel, and then it's gonna tank. It's gonna tank at the beginning of the following year because there are a ton of people who come on YouTube during October and November specifically to look up NaNoWriMo related videos, and those videos will get a lot of views and you'll gain a lot of subscribers, and then That's it. Like there's a smaller group of people who are interested in writing year round than there are writers who are interested in doing NaNoWriMo. So one of the things that didn't go well like mentally for me last year was expecting to continue growing at that rapid rate, and that's just not generally realistic here on AuthorTube. Number 3 is, in the last year, what have you learned? One of the big things that always throws me, and I'm trying really hard, I don't know if this is like a lesson I've learned that I've successfully implemented all the time, but one of the things that always throws me is how well a video will perform for me on my channel. So I cannot tell you how many times I have posted a video thinking, oh, like this is going to do really well. It's a great topic. I really like how it, you know, the video came together. It's really good. It's going to get a lot of views and a lot of comments and people are going to enjoy it, blah, blah, blah. And I post it and it like doesn't really do all that well. Or there's other times where I'll post a video where I'm kind of like I like the video, but I don't know if it's a topic like a whole bunch of people are super interested in, and then it just like I get a ton of views and a bunch of comments and it's like super engaging and stuff, and I'm just like, I cannot for the most part I cannot predict what videos are going to do well. It's really annoying. And so the lesson from that is I try really hard to just keep my expectations super low so that if a video does do really well, then I'm excited about it and that's great. But if it doesn't do so well, then I'm not like overly disappointed. So like for example, sometimes I can predict, sometimes I'm like, I'm pretty sure this one's gonna do well. Like last week or the week before, whenever I posted it, that morning routines video, I was pretty sure that one was gonna do at least decent for me, and it did. I got a bunch of views on it and it was fun in the comments chatting with you all. There's other videos, like when I posted the video of like my office little cozy nook area that I designed, I thought that video would do really well. Like I thought people generally like office makeover, office tour, writing space tour kind of videos, and I thought that one would do well, and it didn't really. It did okay, but it didn't do as well as I was thinking it would. So I was like, every video I post almost I have to remind myself, like, just let it be what it is. It's fine. It doesn't really matter that much. So yeah. Question number 4 is, what progress have you made over the last year? In terms of, I'm assuming this is talking about in terms of my writing. In terms of writing progress, I've actually done a lot in the last year. This time last year, I was still working on re-outlining Project Model Rom-Com. So in the past year, I've finished that outline. I wrote the second draft and I've started draft 3, which is really exciting. So I've definitely made progress. It's been slow at times. There's been times where I've taken a large break or two, but I am slowly making steps in a forward direction, which is really all we can ask of ourselves, right? Question number 5 is, who have you met in the last year on YouTube? I've obviously met, chatted with a bunch of you in the comments. There's a bunch of you who comment on pretty much every video, which I love, and it's always fun just seeing how you're doing and, you know, commenting on the topic at hand in the video. So I really do love that. So thank you if you're one of those people who comments a lot. I love it. But in terms of other channels, I have recently found a few people that I want to shout out here. I can't quite remember. Sometimes I can't quite remember like when I found these channels, but I'm going to mention them. I'll put links to their channels below. Go check them out. The first person is Sarah A. Wynn. If you want like aesthetic, like super beautifully filmed writing videos, her channel is great. She hasn't posted anything in like 2 months, so I hope she's planning to post, because I do really like her videos, but the ones that are up are really nice to watch. I've also been watching Madeline James Writes, her channel. I'm linking them all below, you know that. But her channel's great. She does a lot of just writing process videos and vlogs and things like that. She goes into really great detail about what part of the process she's in and how she's like fixing story mistakes and stuff like that. So highly recommend her. There's also Alyssa, I'm not sure how to say the last name. It's either Matisic or something like that. I'll put it here on the screen, but her channel's great. She used to work in the publishing industry and is now out of the industry but still working with writers. She has a lot of really great videos with insight into the publishing industry, specifically like traditional publishing, and a lot of really in-depth videos on how to improve different aspects of your writing. There's also Black Girl Writing. I'm pretty sure I've shouted her out before. I'll link her below, but she has just a bunch of, vlogs and videos about her writing process. She's really determined to finish her project and get it published, which is super exciting to watch that. And finally, there is Nia and her books. I believe she's in Sweden. Somewhere in that general European area, but she's also a writer, and she talks again a lot about her writing projects, what process she's going through, what part of the process she's in. She posts vlogs and things like that. Okay, so one of the questions I got in that community post was from Anna Robbins, and it's the same kind of question as is question number 6 on this list. The question is, what are your favorite videos that you've made? So I really like the videos where I'm able to do some sort of goofy intro for you. I've done a couple for NaNoWriMo videos. I did that one in the morning routines video. I'll link them below if you want to rewatch the laughs. But yeah, I really like when I have time. Sometimes I just don't have time to do those kinds of things, but when I have time and I can make it happen, I really like doing those. I think they're a lot of fun. I also really like the videos from last summer where I was trying just some sort of different stuff. I did that one video where I put together a collage. I had that artist date video where I went to the movies by myself. They were a little different than the normal sort of writing videos I tend to do. I also really still like the video, I think it was from last February. It's my reason why video. I'll link it below. If you haven't watched it, I think you should, because it talks a lot about finding the real reason that you are writing, not just in general, but the particular story you're working on, and why it's important to understand why you're writing it. So anyway, I'll link that one below. That one's one of my favorites because I think the message in it is really important for any writer of any genre at any time. The final question in the tag is, what is the future of your channel? And really at this point, I just want to keep growing at some pace. Like I said, I kind of got wildly outlandish expectations from that past nano experience. I know that the likelihood of my channel suddenly growing huge is not super likely, so I'm not looking for that kind of mega growth. I don't need that, but just a steady upward climb, which is what I've been doing. We're just going to continue on that upward trajectory. That's like saying Worcestershire sauce. What a dumb word. But yeah, I really just enjoy having this as a creative outlet. It's completely different than writing, and it's just fun. I really enjoy it. So for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be around making videos for you. Okay, I got a couple other questions related to AuthorTube on that community post that I want to address. So Angela Hood had 2 questions. Her first question says, how do you come up with enough content/topics to post consistently? I've wanted to start a YouTube channel since 2020, but when I try to plan out videos, I feel that I don't have enough topics or content that I feel comfortable talking about. Experienced. I thought about posting vlogs about being an indie author while working a full-time job outside my home, but again, my routine is pretty boring. I do feel like I have content that would be helpful. I'm not sure if it's enough though. So I totally know how you feel, because before I started my channel, I was like, how am I going to fill up all of these dates with videos? And I think you're setting yourself up for failure if you look at the entire year or even just a quarter at a glance. You're like, oh my gosh, this is so many videos or so many content ideas I have to come up with. It can be really overwhelming. I would suggest just looking at 1 month at a time. What are you going to do your first month? Plan that out. I would suggest starting with just 1 video a week. That's a pretty standard kind of thing on YouTube. I do 2 a week because I really enjoy it, but if you're nervous about coming up with content ideas, just start with 1 video a week, or even if that's too much, start with once every other week. Pick a schedule for yourself that you think you can stick to and be consistent with. I would also suggest starting a brainstorm list of ideas you have. You can take your time. Don't feel like you have to sit down one afternoon and brainstorm 15 different ideas. You're probably not going to be super successful with that. Take a couple weeks or even a month to just consistently be thinking about it. And anytime you have any little thought in your brain about a video topic or something you could talk about in a video, put it down on the brainstorm list. I have a brainstorm list. Some of the topics I have written down are like full video ideas. Others are kind of like half of a thought. Others, I don't know if it really fits on my channel, but I just wrote it down in case I found some way to incorporate it into a video somewhere along the way. The other thing you can do is look at other people's channels and see the types of videos that they're doing. That's obviously not to say just copy their ideas, but sometimes, you know, we're all talking about writing and there are universal writing topics that everyone can kind of weigh in on. You can talk about current events, or you can talk about long-standing writing issues. So for example, right now, there have been a huge shift in the publishing industry with a lot of publishing professionals leaving the industry. So if you have insight on that, you could chat about that. There's a bunch of people who are freaking out over Elon Musk having purchased Twitter. They think that's going to ruin Twitter for publishing. I don't know, maybe it will. Maybe it won't, who knows? I really don't know, but you know, if you have some sort of thing to say on that, you could post a video on that. So again, you know, if you saw somebody post about the Twitter situation and you have other things you want to add into the discussion, you could certainly make a video about that on your channel. It doesn't mean you're copying that other person. You're just taking that same topic that a bunch of people can chat about. So for me, I try to plan about a month at a time. So right now, at the beginning of May, I do have my whole May schedule planned out. And for me, hold on. It was the FedEx guy. We're safe, it's fine. Anyway, so for me, I always post, or usually post, my vlogs on Fridays. So Friday videos, I don't really have to plan a topic necessarily. It's the vlog for the week. So those are just boom, boom, boom. I can just schedule those in right away. The Tuesday videos, you know, I usually do some sort of sit down discussion style video. The first video of every month is almost always a wrap up of the previous month and a goals video outlook for the coming month. So that usually only leaves me with like 3 or 4 other videos that I actually have to have like a topic for, which is pretty manageable for me. So again, you know, I do reference that brainstorm list every now and then, and I can usually come up with something. If I'm stuck for ideas, I will do sometimes a tag video. I don't like to do tags more than once a month just because they're fun. I don't know, they're not like original content. They're not like super creative necessarily, so I don't like to overdo it on tags. So for me, like 1 a month is the max I want to do for those. But if you have a tag video, then you're down to like thinking up a topic of maybe 2 or 3 videos, which is fairly doable, I think. I did do a video back in January called Starting an AuthorTube Channel, or something like that. I'll link that one below. There's a bunch of tips and different things I have to say in that video. It's time-stamped, so you can kind of skip around to the portions that interest you. Her second question was, I'm camera shy. What do you suggest I do to become more comfortable in front of the camera? The only thing you can do to become more comfortable is practice. This isn't something that you would normally do in your everyday life, right? So most people, when they start a channel, don't have camera experience. If you look back at my first several months worth of videos, I'm really awkward and just sort of rigid, and there's not a whole lot of personality, I don't feel like, that comes across. And I was trying to figure out how to be on camera, and it just takes a while. But I was persistent, I kept going with it, and now I feel pretty comfortable. I'm used to seeing myself, you know, like when I'm editing. I'm used to hearing my voice. I used to hate listening to myself. I used to think my voice was so annoying and just weird, and maybe it is, but I'm used to it at this point, so it doesn't bother me as much anymore. I was super nervous filming those first couple videos, but you know, I got through that initial hump, and you don't really have to worry too much about those first videos, because honestly, unless you for some reason have your videos go viral, which is not likely, they're gonna get like 10 views. And one of those views is probably going to be from you watching it. Like, it's fun. So it's not like it's going to reach a whole lot of people initially. So don't worry too much about it being awkward or a little rigid or weird. It's okay. Let yourself be awkward and just push forward, because you will work past that initial shyness. You could also try making a video that has nothing to do with writing, that is completely unrelated to anything you would ever post, and make it about something that you're passionate about, something that excites you, that you're not going to post. We're not posting this. Just make a video about something. So for me, I could make a video about Lawrence of Arabia. The video would be like 20 hours long. No one's going to watch that. But do it. And if you're talking about something that you're really excited about, a lot of times you can overcome that shyness because you get so caught up in the excitement of the topic. And if you watch that video back, you might see a more natural personality, and then you can try to bring that over into videos about writing. I did post a video last year at some point about your online persona. I'll link that below. I have a bunch of other sort of tips and tricks for being on camera. And finally, there was a question from Sonia Madden. She wanted to know, how do you grow your audience? And I think here on YouTube, the answer is very slowly. AuthorTube is a very small niche. It is very small, and most channels, look at the channels you follow. Most channels are going to be small because there's just not that many people interested in writing advice. Even some of the biggest channels have a couple, like 200,000, 100,000 subscribers, which is a lot, but compared to, you know, gaming channels or channels with like tech computer reviews and that kind of stuff, those are huge. Those have like millions of people who follow them. AuthorTube channels don't have those kinds of numbers. So growing your channel here on YouTube, it's going to be slow, and I don't think that should be your focus if you're trying to start a channel. Your focus should be on delivering good content to the people who are looking for it, other writers. And if you consistently work on delivering good content, interesting content, inspirational content, motivational content, then you will see growth. It's just going to be slow for the most part. Again, I'll link that AuthorTube video below. I go into a little more detail on a couple things related to this kind of a question. So that is it. That is all the AuthorTube related questions. Thank you all so much for your support over the last 2 years. And here's to 2 more years, 3 more years, 5, 7, 18 more years. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long we'll be around, but I'm having fun with it, and I plan to be here for a while longer. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button. I post videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I don't know what my name is. Oh, I forgot to turn on my light. Oh my gosh. There, how's that? We should probably just start this all over again.